name is Kenny Anwe, and I'm the MD CEO for FGM Power Company. FGM Power Company is mandated to implement the Presidential Power Initiative. The last time I brought you updates on the program, I told you about the importation of 10 power transformers and 10 mobile substations. We have successfully installed quite a number of these equipment across various locations in Nigeria, and it is serving several communities in no small way. In particular, I'm pleased about the projects that we have implemented in Lagos State, in Ajah, in Maryland, and in Ojo. These are beginning now to serve the good people of Lagos State.
Maryland substation has installed capacity of 90 MVA before the FG Power Siemens project. The FG Power remove 30 MVA and they bring in 100 MVA, which is part of the federal government initiative to improve power supply in Nigeria. With this project, once it's commissioned, the people around this substation, like Maryland community itself, Ikeja GRA, Ojota, K2, up to my 12, there will be improvement in their supply because the station capacity has increased from the 120 it used to be to 190 because we have 2 transformers that is working as at present, which is 30 and 60. With this now, we will have 190 capacity in this station. So all those areas, we expect them to have improved supply. We commissioned 66 MVA power transformer at Ajah, and Ajah own FG Power has contributed a lot to that substation because that is where we commissioned the first mobile substation in the country. That was done last year, October. And this year again, the minister was there to do the official commissioning, which is almost a month plus now. And yesterday, we commissioned another 60 MVA in Ajah. And those are the projects that FG Power is doing to improve power supply in Nigeria. So Lagos has benefited in it, and in Ajah we had 2. This is another one we are going to put on today. Ajah, before we commissioned that of yesterday, it used to be 233 MVA. But with the inclusion of the 66 MVA, we have 289 MVA now in Ajah. VGC, Lekki, Agugi, all those areas, they will have improved supply. Nigerians should have faith in the government because the kind of money they are spending in the power sector, by now everybody will have seen it. Although all these band A, they can testify to it that they are having 24-hour supply, which is a reality. And that is part of what all these projects are bringing to our customers.
The commissioning of this equipment here today is part of a deliberate plan. It's quite intentional to effectively address recurring challenges of capacity deficits in the power sector. I can assure you that the ministry under my watch will collaborate with critical stakeholders to solidify actionable plans capable of providing Nigerians and the economic industry with regular and affordable supply. We are remotely commissioning 4 other additional sites.
We've also installed equipment in Jaba, Kwanadangora, and in other locations across Nigeria. We're looking to install the rest of the equipment before the turn of 2024, and you'd be pleased to know that we've added 750 megawatt in the transmission subsector. Furthermore, the rest of the equipment will definitely add another 500 megawatt in the transmission subsector. These are some of the wins that we have achieved since the project began. Part of FGM Power Company's mandate is to ensure that we're able to improve the capacities of our engineers that are working across the network, both in the distribution and the transmission subsectors. So we've been able to undertake the training of hundreds of engineers so far that are working in the two subsectors that I mentioned. Now, it's important for you to know also that this training content is being delivered by Siemens Energy. Now, we've continued to work with Siemens across the value chain to identify where those capacities are required, particularly in network development studies. In tandem with all of the activities that have been ongoing with the pilot project, the training, we've been undertaking scoping of the main phase, which is the phase one. We're moving into the phase one imminently. In the next 1 year, you should start to see boots on ground, wires and cables and substations and all sorts of things happening to ensure that there is an improvement of the electricity throughput to the customers for industrial clusters, which are a priority, and also to commercial hubs and of course to residences. Our focus in part has been to ensure that our planning arrangements for the main phase has been world-class. How you plan is going to easily determine how well you were able to succeed. So we've been focused on the technical aspects of the PPI, the commercial aspects of the PPI, and the financing aspects of the PPI. Let me speak to the technical. The technical requires a lot of determining what the scope of work will be and ensuring that there is an end-to-end focus. Every investment are able to deliver on the throughput of electricity that we require. So we're looking at the requirements and we're looking at the scoping under the technical arrangements. Under the commercial, we're working to ensure that we're able to deliver on the best contracts, for our beneficiaries, and of course to ensure that we do so at the most viable and prudent prices. Thirdly, I talked about financing. This is ensuring that we're able to engage the German ECA, who were originally intended to provide support, and other ECAs across the world who are able to provide the best, least cost concessionary financing to the project. In addition, we're engaging all of the relevant agencies to secure extent approvals to ensure that we're able to deliver on the project in a manner that is in compliance with the law. In the main phase of the PPI, we're going to be delivering at least 4,000 megawatt. This is the ambition of Mr. President to ensure that end-to-end, both from generation, transmission, distribution, we're able to deliver an additional 4,000 megawatt. Now, we're going to be doing this by significant investments in lines. So we're going to be doing that in two ways. Upgradation of existing lines, and of course building new lines to ensure that there is a throughput of additional capacity to businesses, to industrial clusters, and of course to residences. All of this geared towards stimulating economic growth and activities. To deliver on all of these ambitious targets, we're of course looking at plugging the gaps in transmission and distribution. We know that we're able to easily generate about 13,800 megawatts currently, but we need to be able to ensure that we can both wheel them through the transmission network and of course, deliver them through the distribution network into homes, businesses, and our industries. What we're looking at is, of course, what we call brownfields, meaning that there are existing infrastructure that we need to upgrade and improve and modernize, and of course greenfields which do not exist yet, but we're already working hard to make sure that we are planning adequately to deliver on them. These are particularly in areas of lines and substations. Most of the lines that we have are at least 40 to 50, and in some cases 60 years old. These are some of the work that the federal government is doing to improve electricity in your communities and in your areas. Let's talk about the basis for how we intend to achieve this. Our strategy is really quite pragmatic, making sure that every single investment that we make are translated into electrons that are delivered to serve the good people of Nigeria. And of course, we're targeting, first of all, the key economic centers, where the industries are, where the economic hubs are, and the investments are going to be made in load centers with growth potential as a priority. Performance improvement plans are a matter of regulatory priority. Those plans are already in place as a matter of requirement by the regulator and ERC. So what we're doing is supporting to make sure that no plans are done outside of that regulatory framework. The investments in the PPI are guided by a number of criteria. The first is that we're taking a bottoms-up approach. What that means is that every dollar or naira investment must, of course, lead to electrons that are delivered to a customer. We're targeting key economic centers to ensure that the investments are made in load centers also with growth potential, not just where we already have high economic activity, but where the potential exists. Performance improvement plans of the DISCOs are also a very significant criteria that we have considered. TCN, DISCOs, and the regulator NERC are a priority in project selection. The impact of all investments must, of course, reach the last mile, which is the customer, whether it's industries, whether it's commercial hubs, or whether it's even residences. We want to make sure that customers are the main reason for investments. The impact of investments, of course, must also align with the 8-point agenda of Mr. President. In all of these, we are taking an end-to-end philosophy to make sure that there is no stranded capacity across the entire value chain, meaning that any investments that are made will not lead to stranded capacity. We're unlocking an ambitious 4,000 megawatt of incremental power, and we want to do so affording the quickest turnaround with high economic return. Two of such investment vehicles are the Presidential Metering Initiative and the Distribution Recovery Program, which are investing significantly into ensuring that we're able to improve electricity supply. The reason that the federal government is, of course, implementing such an ambitious project is to ensure that we're able to deliver for the economic future of our teeming population of youth in Nigeria. Our ambition, of course, is to ensure that we deliver an additional 4,000 megawatt, almost doubling the existing capacities. Our project initiation activities have commenced in earnest, and we're looking to ensure that we can actively begin Phase 1 of the PPI in Q1 of 2025. Our priority projects will commence first to deliver an end-to-end capacity that will deliver these targets between 2025 and 2027. As our sector grows in incremental capacity, I see alignment with policy that's championed by the Honorable Minister of Power and, of course, ambitious targets that are set by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to ensure that we're able to support businesses and commercial entities. We're leaving no stone unturned, and please be assured that once we get through this phase, we will progress without a hitch. Our planning arrangements are absolutely thorough, and we're ensuring that we're engaging all our stakeholders as necessary. Thank you for listening.